My name is Adrian. Well, in 2011, I went to the doctor because I had some minor chest pain. I was running, started trying to get back in shape, so I tried to run around the track in my school. I was in college at the time, and was getting sharp pains in my upper chest. And I was thinking maybe I'm just too out of shape, too much fast food, so I gotta run a little harder, run a little longer. So I would do that, run more. But as the more I ran, the more the pain would come. And so long story short, I ended up going to a cardiologist, and they do some tests on me and find out that they said I had two leaky valves. Two of my valves were, for lack of better terms, not allowing the blood to come back into the heart where it's supposed to go out. So, of course, it's kind of like, okay, what does that mean? What's going to happen? So they put me on a medication. But it didn't really fix anything. I didn't like the way the medicine made me feel, so I stopped taking it. And I thought I was going to be good. It's just a leaky valve. What's the worst that can happen? So about 4 years later, 2015, I started having these weird feelings. I'd be driving and I get really dizzy. Everything would just be spinning around me. Get these crazy headaches. So I said, it's been 4 or 5 years since I went to the cardiologist. Let me just go. So go to the doctor, and turns out he did this heart catheterization test, and they said you have heart failure. And at this time, I'm 28 years old, pretty okay, fit guy, and so I'm just like, what do you mean I have heart failure? As a doctor sitting across from me, tears just well up in my eyes because I didn't expect that. I expected him to say, your valves are still leaky, everything's okay. And so one of the major tests that they test what's known as your ejection fraction. And it tells you the percentage of blood that pumps out of your heart. The normal ejection fraction is about 55 to 60% for Americans. Mine was 35%. So I didn't know what to do. And I felt low. I felt real low. And the primary reason I felt low was because here I am. At this point, I had been a Christian for maybe 7, 8 years. I worked for God. I've been to 4 different countries on mission trips. I traveled across the country, speaking engagements, doing a lot of things for God, and I felt abandoned. I didn't understand how God could allow something like this to happen to someone who loved Him so much. And in my mind, I was willing to give up so much for Him, but yeah, He abandoned me and allowed something like this to happen, something that's pretty much out of my control. And so, I was really, really low. Went into a depressive state for a little while. Didn't eat, or ate really minimal. Started losing weight, and I was living alone, so no one really see me. And it was a really, really bad spot. Things kind of turned around. Two things happened in my life. The first thing that happened was God got a hold of me and helped me to realize He's been there the whole time. He never left. It was just my belief that I was being distracted by the problem and just magnifying my problem instead of looking at who God really was and what He intended to do through me with this disorder that but what the doctor is saying is not going anywhere anytime soon. And the second thing that happened that really changed my life was I found this, I can't say I found because I wasn't looking. God introduced me into this wonderful young lady who changed my life.
What if I were to tell you that you're probably not experiencing your best life now? That even though you may have good moments, there is something better. See, life is a mystery for most of us. It doesn't matter if you're the richest of the rich or the most economically challenged. We all go through suffering, pain, sickness, and eventually death. What if I were to tell you that all of that is not the end? There is something better. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We have experienced it. Maybe it's time you give it a try.
I believe God used my wife to show me that He's going to take care of me through my wife. she's been just an angel, a beacon of hope. I don't want to give up, because I know if I give up in life, and sometimes I'm tempted to give up, I give up on her. And so I found my something better through finding that God is my purpose, and He's not done with me. But I also found my something better through my wife's love and her compassion for me. My name is Adrian, and I found something better.